minutes before the hour. 12 before the hour. Daybreak USA continues. Well, I tell you what, they needed to have the mic and the tape rolling during our break. We we learned a few things about each other. Interesting conversation, and well, we'll try to share the gold with the rest of America. We've been talking about Alzheimer's this month, and as we wind down National Alzheimer's Awareness Month, we're doing so with the president of the Greater Dallas chapter of the Alzheimer's Association, John Gilchrist, the senior associate pastor of the Potter's House here in Dallas. Senior Pastor Lawrence Robinson is with us. By the way, Charleston, West Virginia is where you've pastored.
I was there for 26 years in Charleston. Our home is originally from the Northern Virginia area, right outside of Washington, but I went to school in West Virginia and was there for 26 years and was blessed to be a part of some great people there.
Well, some great people are listening this morning in Charleston, West Virginia, WVTS AM and FM. So
good morning,
there you
Charleston,
go.
West Virginia.
There you go. There you go. And Pat Bailey, I want to talk before we share how the recent effort at the Potter's House this past Sunday gave a great opportunity to so many to get information about something that is afflicting the African-American and Hispanic community far more than other ethnicities, as we learned from John Gilchrist.
Yes.
Pat, your mom, how long ago did your mom pass away?
My mom passed away back in 2004. She actually contracted Alzheimer's in 1997 when she was 70 years old. And in bringing her down, our objective was to figure out how to augment her care, not realizing how deeply involved in the process we were going to have to be. And that's the thing that's surprising to families. They don't realize how much time it's going to take to manage this process. And that's why there's information out there associated with the 36-hour day to help you cope. This is about hope and coping. That being said, we were talking during the break, I created a brand around her. I wanted people to understand who she was, and I created a poster that sat on the wall that told her story, so that through advancedcomfort.com, anybody could go in and create the same poster. And when I saw a doctor use it one day, because my mother wasn't talking to us, and the doctor said, oh, it says on here to play my music. And we played her music, and my mother got up and said, oh, that's my jam. Because I had some Brooke Ben and some Dinah Washington tuned right on up. And the point is that it's a process. It's like how to deal with memory retention. You know, once you contract a disease, we know where it's going, but you can add quality of life in the process. And our goal with the business that was established in her name, Advanced Comfort, is to be able to share that information out to the public, because you don't have to suffer in silence.
Absolutely.
You really don't have to do that.
Pastor Robinson, at this past Sunday symposium, what do you think were two of the central themes that you were able to share as this awareness, this heightened awareness of Alzheimer's was shared with the Potter's House congregation?
The first thing that I noticed, and even from the questions that were given back, was that the information was so beneficial to all of them, just to make them aware about it. The second thing that I think about, and is really going to what Pat was just talking about, is caregiving. We saw a passion and a desire for we had a lot of caregivers there. They needed to know where they could get connected to some of the groups that they support groups, where they can get help. And that's those two areas that we saw that the needs were tremendous, and the questions, understanding exactly what's going on with their loved ones. I think it's just real good information. The Bible says in John, I wish above all things that thou prosper, be in good health, even as that soul prospers. I believe in one of the missions that Potter's House has is about being well-rounded, not just the spiritual aspect, but also in our health. And sometimes we have real good church in our churches, but getting the information now to how do we live once we get back into our communities, and getting this information, because once I became involved with this as a board member with Pat Bailey at Advanced Comfort, but also made me notice some things in my family. And I just had a couple of relatives to die from the disease, but lack of information I saw that they had, and some of my family members had, they could have been, the quality of life could have been a little better.
Absolutely.
Which kind of helped me say, okay, how can I get back, share this with the community to get this information out, that the quality of life for those caregivers and the loved ones could be much better.
And one of the things I'm encouraged by, and John Gilchrist, I'm sure you are as well, while there is no definitive cure for Alzheimer's, as I'm sure Pastor Robinson will share, when you have a spiritual approach to your health, you realize that all things are possible to them that believe. I got checked last night by one of my partners and accountability partners when I was talking about the fact that I had LASIK surgery maybe about 12 years ago. And, well, why are you wearing glasses now? Well, you know, my eyes, I guess they age like the rest of us. Well, wait a minute. You know, I'm expecting to have 20/20 vision in the next 2-3 years. What do you mean our eyes age? Again, we speak so much into existence when it comes to our health and our well-being. John, you are talking to two people who I'm sure from that program yesterday, and as you've got to be encouraged, are trying to speak a message of hope into a community that oftentimes feels a great deal of despair. When we come back, I want to talk about how, as we wrap up this National Alzheimer's Awareness Month, what our listeners across the nation can do to help organizations like yours here in Dallas that are chapters around the nation and give them that same sense of hope that I'm sure you gained this month from the support you got from the Potter's House and more. We'll do that when we wrap up the hour here on Daybreak USA. Stay close.